What's going on, guys? It's your boy Sinister Cobra coming back with another video. Today we are going to be talking about the new Doctor Strange movie. I just got back from seeing it and I felt like talking about it, so let's go ahead and jump in. But before we do that, I want to give a disclaimer that there will be spoilers in this movie, so just a heads up in case you don't want it spoiled for you. But before we jump into the spoilers, I want to give like a too long didn't watch version of this quote-unquote review. The movie overall is great. I came out of the movie theater, in love with this Doctor Strange character. I knew nothing about him going in. I felt like he was very well established. This origin story was great. Definitely portrayed as like this super intellectual character, which is not really something we've seen so far in the cinematic universe. We've seen like a lot of, I guess I want to say, brute force type of characters. I know Tony Stark and Spider-Man are these super geniuses in the comic book continuity, but other than Tony Stark, there's really no emphasis on how smart they are. Sure, Tony Stark, has made money off of being a genius, but he's almost like very technology dependent. Whereas Doctor Strange, they throughout the whole movie they show him studying and learning all this sorcery stuff, and it just came out as a very well portrayal of how smart this character is. With that being said, the visual effects were great. The action was also great. Like I said, I think I said it, I'm not sure, but I didn't know anything about Doctor Strange going into this movie, so all the action that was in it was a good surprise. Of course, being a Marvel movie, there was humor. That was great too. Overall, I feel like there might be some issues with the character fitting into the cinematic universe, since he is this like super powerful hero, but I think they did a good job in introducing the character. So with that being said, I want to go into specifics, and this is where like all the spoiler stuff will be introduced. So right off the bat, I want to go with the cape, the cloak of levitation, I believe it's called. I thought it was a very funny almost sidekick to Doctor Strange. It was very funny introduction. Everything involved with the cape got laughs out of the theater that I was at. Also the scenes where Doctor Strange has the cape on, like there's a scene where he falls over like a rail of the staircase or something like that, and he just comes back floating up with the cape on. That was just super badass. And then when he defeats the what they call it, the Zealot, I think they were called, one of the henchmen guys, and then he just walks around, throws his cape on. It was just pretty badass. The time gem was also in this movie. It was the amulet, the medallion that Doctor Strange wears, the eye of something. The name escapes me at this point. I probably should have looked it up before doing this video, but here we are. The time gem was somewhat surprising. I definitely did not expect, like I said, I don't know anything about Doctor Strange. I didn't do any research going in. I did know that he is part of the Illuminati, and each member of the Illuminati has a infinity gem. I did know that much. I had completely forgotten about that going into this movie, which, if I had remembered, that should not have been surprising to me that the time gem would show up. But yeah, the time gem was in this. It was pretty heavily involved in the movie, I would say. Big plot device. He uses it to defeat the big baddie, which I will talk about in a second here. But once again, I feel like Marvel is very they're giving like the Infinity Gems somewhat of an afterthought. Like, sure, they're planting the seeds there for Avengers 3, but so far I don't feel like there's this big urgency that these things are super powerful. Sure, we see what they can do in this movie, but I think they might have explained it a little bit in Guardians of the Galaxy, but they could have also explained it in this movie. Just give a reminder to the audience that these things exist, because obviously Doctor Strange doesn't know what it is. There's a line where the character Wong, he goes, you shouldn't be walking around with that amulet in public, because there's an Infinity Stone inside of it. And Doctor Strange has this like puzzled look, and just, you know, right there they could have used that opportunity to remind the audience that there's these stones in the universe that are super powerful, and you know, if they get in the wrong hands, there can be serious consequences. But they'll probably use that as plot for Avengers 3, of course, saving it all there. But you know, by that point, people are gonna be like, "Oh, so that's what it was. That blah blah blah. Oh yeah, wait, I don't remember that." So, you know, we're like 14 movies in. A nice reminder every now and then would probably be nice, especially for like the casual viewers. But anyways, enough about that. Like I said earlier, visual effects, combat was great. There was humor in it, of course. You know, what do you expect from a Marvel movie? Good humor. I felt some of it was very, you know, out of place at times, especially during the combat. Sure, it got a laugh out of me, but it's just like, oh, this combat scene was so great, and then you just, you know, you knock me out of the scene with this offhand joke or whatever. But other than that, I thought overall it was pretty good. And now let's go into the big baddie here. There was two baddies in this movie. One which was a former student of the Ancient One, which of course is the teacher that teaches Stephen Strange about the magic and all that. He's sort of set up as, I felt he was set up as like Doctor Strange's opposite. Like, he's, you know, very smart and all that, going down the same path as Doctor Strange, but he turned to the dark side, which I thought was pretty cool. But they didn't really, when it got down to it, I didn't really see that. I saw Doctor Strange being like the inferior one to him at some points. Of course, you know, he was just learning all about all his powers and all that, but when they first talk about it, you know, it kind of seems like Doctor Strange and the villain are sort of equals. But other than that, that character was used to introduce Dormammu, which was quite a bit of surprise for me. I didn't know he was a Doctor Strange villain. As I said, you know, Doctor Strange is a brand new character to me. However, I do know Dormammu from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so I was a bit disappointed with the way he was handled in this movie. I was expecting, you know, this like badass dark sorcerer or something, but instead he got like the Galactus treatment from Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, where he's like this giant cloud nebula thing that wants to absorb Earth. He just has a face to go along with it, whereas Galactus was just literally like a cloud. But they do leave it sort of open-ended with Dormammu. They do leave it for a possibility for him to return in the future, show up again, which was great. Hopefully we get more of a physical form for him for the next time he shows up. Fingers crossed. But yeah, the way he was defeated too was pretty clever. Something we haven't seen in the Marvel movies yet, so that I don't want to spoil it for you guys. I'll let you guys go ahead and see that. But anyways, that's the That's my thoughts on the Doctor Strange movie. It was pretty good overall. I thought easily top 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Maybe even top 3. I would have to figure out that list. I know Civil War definitely my favorite movie out of all the Cinematic Universe movies. It's somewhat of a shame that I feel like this movie might not do as well as other Marvel movies. At the screening that I went to Thursday 7 p.m. Of course, I mean, it's a Thursday. Of course, you know, that might have an effect on things, but no one really was there. The theater I was at wasn't really action packed. There was no line. There was an 8 o'clock viewing as well. There was like no line for that. So hopefully it doesn't tank, quote unquote tank, compared to the other movies. I feel like once word of mouth gets around that it's a good movie, then it'll probably start picking up steam. But you know, if you guys don't know the character, don't let that stop you from watching it. It was a great movie, fantastic movie. Not a day one Blu-ray buy for me. I know I took my brother to go see it. He knows absolutely like nothing about the comic books and all that. But he came out saying that it was a badass movie. So go watch it, guys. And with that, I would like to thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it this far, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, leave a like. And as always, I will talk to you guys next time.